Oh, really?
The chicken particularly is delicious, yeah? They do the shopping and then they cook it.
This is Don, and they do all the behind the scenes work as well as the front work too. It's easy. And then it's Annie.
So what's in your room?
Room.
45 minutes it'll be cooked. This is roasted garlic that's been freeze-dried. Alright, the sausage is undoing. Undoing has seasoning in it, but I'm going to look at it.
How do you make the roux?
Talk about all this. I'm going to get a box. Get their little huts and such built, and the men begin to think of other pursuits, as that was. You know, European women, so they start chasing after the Indians into the woods. This is really true. The governor of Bienville was a little concerned about the gene pool remaining pure European. So he writes back to the French government and says, send me wives to my men. And they try to get decent when they come. But they're not interested. I don't blame them. I would risk my life for 2 month boys. Okay? So they don't come. We've got to get it from someplace, so they empty a jail in Paris and send 90 loose women over here under the control of 4 nuns and a midwife, and that's where our gene pool is. You'll never meet a soul that goes that far back in there. Out of the 90% here, 40 die and run. I'm sure French jails were the healthiest environments. Okay? A little after that, 1719, the first group of enslaved Africans come. And the Africans who come here do this colonial period. This is the period before we are part of the United States of America. Okay? Come from one region of Africa called Senegambia. America's over here. And Africa, you know, Africa indents right there before the tail begins. That's where they came from. I'm going to talk about that later, just so I'm not going to forget about it. Okay? All right, now, 1721. We hadn't made much progress in growth, but I know this for a fact. Well, I guess this woman would probably sterile due to venereal diseases. And we Bianca's getting desperate here, you know. So we looked back at European history and all the wars that had been fought. And one thing. All right, needs the butter. You need the butter.
Does this?
All right, when you brown meat or saute your onions a long time, juices come out. In the case of onions, you saute and the sugar comes out of onions. That's how they turn brown. Garlic does the same thing. When you brown the meat, the juices come out, same thing with sausage. So it starts to stick to the bottom of the pan, which is what I want it to do. I don't want it to burn you. And so then I put the fire back on, you know, the sausage off, and then I'll start scraping the bottom of this pan to get all this stuff off the bottom. This is called fond, F-O-N-D. And that is synonymous with flavor. You don't want to let that burn. You don't want to waste it, okay? So that's all I'm doing now. See how it's making a brown color? Okay. In the old days, when I learned how to make this in Cajun French, much less from my grandmother, she used to brown the chicken too. Of course, she used to go out in the backyard and catch the chicken. Anyway, and she would brown that, which made, again, more brown color. But today, because I'm doing the sausage, it's not enough, so sometimes not sometimes, 9 out of 10 times, I'll put kitchen bouquet in here just to make the jump a line around. Go ahead, keep talking. Say again? This is salty. I told you, all these bases are salty. Think of bouillon cubes. That's salty. That's why when you use this product, you should use a seasoning blend that doesn't have too much salt. Now, when you look at the ingredients on Joe's stuff, salt is listed as the first ingredient. It goes by weight. Salt weighs more than thyme, basil, oregano, garlic powder, onion powder. That's what's in there. It's not overly salty, though. It's very chicken. Yeah. Every 4 people, every 4 people, you use 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of onion, half a cup of bell pepper, half a cup of celery. and it says at the bottom of the thing, and 1 1/4 cups of liquid. So it's a really easy recipe to figure out. And if more people come at the last minute, just put more rice. So, I've got 8 of 4 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. Okay, 49 people. All right, so this goes in here. All right, now I'm going to put all the liquids in. Just like that has to be strong, that has to be strong. When you season it, it's got to be overdone too. Okay, so you can die when you season it. But I know what I'm doing. It doesn't look like it. And then chicken. Let me tell you what I do. I mean, I'm a little slow in these things. Not just recently, but like gumbo or jambalaya at home, and we all grow up eating this stuff. Okay, I use rotisserie chicken, and I pull it off the bone. You know, just like pulled pork. Yes. You can do a shoulder, cook a pork shoulder, and pull that off and put that. Oh, it's delicious. So that's my suggestion. If you use raw chicken, I had a group the other day. I had a group of Muslims. This was very interesting. I wasn't too happy about that because I'm not. And when the girls came in with the veils on, oh God! But you know, it turned out to be. I'm not kidding you. I had this preconceived notion, nicest people you ever want to meet, and they were professionals. They were engineers. The girls were engineers. What amazed me is that the girls, they were young girls, maybe they were like 24, 25, and the men were about the same ages, and I thought for sure there would be men over here, girls over here. No. And anyway, so that I could have done that anyway, because it's all this. Even today, I read beans downstairs, that's important too, so. All right, man. A little kitchen cake.
Are we on jambalaya or gumbo?
What?
You prefer the gas stove?
Oh, gotcha. I mean, cook an electric gas, I mean, I'm used to it. But the thing about electric is you can't control it. You turn gas up.
The phone?
Electric doesn't do that. Unless you have induction.
I'd say it's it's over there. Tea. I have tea.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to season it.
That's for 50 people, y'all. Okay.
Okay.
That's for the whole,
What's in here? Thyme, basil, oregano, garlic powder, onion powder.
What powder was that? That was that.
2% salt, black pepper, white pepper. Kevin's, which I'm using right now, has a little bit of cayenne in it, and savory and cumin. Joe's stuff, none of this is on the recipe.
Baju blend, seasoning.
On the next page, and I only know that because you clean it.
Look, if you're going to cook this, you know what it tastes like.
Okay.
Right? So if you want to taste this, I'll be tired of tasting everything. If you want to taste this and see how it tastes, in a second I'll get you to come up here. But don't do it. Because it's got to be stronger. And what the recipe says is not enough. That's the bottom line. Now when you come taste it, use a different spoon. Yeah, we said that. All right, if you want to taste it, come taste it right now.
How about freeze-dried garlic?
We sell it. Now,
It's not the same.
no, don't use it. I mean, use it like, I like it in a gumbo because it looks nice. You eat with your eyes, y'all. That's why we color our jambalaya, okay? As well as your mouth, okay? And that freeze-dried garlic that I put in here, I just like the way it looks. You know, that's why I use it. But I wouldn't rely on that for garlic flavor. I mean, a real garlic flavor because it's roasted.
Yeah.
And when you roast garlic, it becomes very mild, so you're not going to get that garlic flavor. I'm just really and truly, I'm going to go over all these recipes with you. Let's just get this history out of the way, okay? All right, now. So now, we're American. The only group that I left out, and I didn't forget them, believe it or not, I just saved them for the last, because I really do believe out of all the groups that came here, I think this group has the greatest influence in the food, and God knows the music, jazz, rhythm and blues, and those who enslaved Africans, who came here from one region of Africa through the colonial period, as I told you, Senegal. Very skilled people. That's how our food evolved differently than y'all's food because we had French and Spanish heritage, where some of y'all might have had French, some of y'all might have had Spanish, but you didn't have it all together this week. Yes?
The museum teaches that the Portuguese were here before the French.
Well, let them teach that.
That's what your museum here
museum?
The museum's down in Jackson Square.
The Cabildo?
The Cabildo?
They
I don't remember seeing that.
The Portuguese were here before the
Vasco
French.
da Gama discovered, Vasco da Gama you're talking about, he didn't come here.
I don't know, they said that there was a Portuguese influence and then they left. They couldn't make it in the colony.
Well, maybe there is, but we weren't taught that.
Sold it to Spain, or sold it to France, and then.
Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Let me talk about how I made the gumbo. Okay. All right. I started off by sauteing the Trinity. Always use the Trinity. 2 parts onion, 1 part bell pepper, 1 part celery. Your recipe will serve as an appetizer about 30 as you all are going to get it. You're going to fill up on it. Okay. So there was no rice in it. That's not to say you got one. I know I had it someplace. I know I used it. When you go to the restaurants today, y'all, you're going to get rice. You know why? You're getting less things.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate to tell them, hold the rice. They don't care, I'll tell you a really terrific place for gumbo. Chicken and sausage gumbo is Mr. B's. Anybody eat there? Mr. B. Look, I get nothing for recommending these places. I really don't. Okay? Mr. B's is a Brennan's property on the corner of Iberville, which is the First Street, the French Quarter, and Royal. If you want to try barbecue shrimp, but you're not barbecued, I don't know what to call that.
No ease.
That is voted best in New Orleans by New Orleans, the best place for barbecue shrimp. Mr. B's is a restaurant, and the dish I'm talking about is barbecue shrimp.
Yes, she does. No, I bet, because she does. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Where's the line?
He was
we're both with oxen.
There we
Oxen.
and the lion was
See if I like this kind.
political move.
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's a best.
The best.
Yeah, completely different from dry. He's white color. Sharp.
Dramatic when I say this, but even talking to this will come to distraction. I learned how to do it the old-fashioned way, low fire. It took 1 hour. I got married. My husband was from Missouri, so we moved to Missouri for a couple of years, and I was the only one who knew how to do it. My grandmother took a cake from there, and that's dark and sweet potato. Butter, not margarine. Any of y'all use margarine? No. Don't. We had food technology a few years ago, and they told me, when I was saying don't use margarine, they said, because I was told that margarine was 1 molecule away from being plastic. No, they told me that. And then I went ahead and Googled it, and they created margarine fattened turkeys, something like that. And none of you all are old enough for this, but I remember vividly during World War II, we couldn't get butter. So we had margarine, we called it oleo. The 1/4 of a cup, then I went to a 1/3, and I got to a 1/2 cup, and that was fine, and I stopped. So I don't know about more. You don't need any more than that. Say again?
Same.
Everything is the same. The recipe's the same, except
You just add the chocolate to this?
well, it's too late now, but you put it in the beginning. Yeah. No more than a 1/2 cup. Okay. Now, when you do the timing for the chocolate lessens the cooking time. So set your timer for 2.5 minutes. Okay. And remember I said the recipe says stir constantly, you have to do that. All right, that's it.
I missed that.
2, 3, 4 o'clock the next morning, I'm still going, but not strong, you get my drift. I'm, as we say, 3 sheets to the wind. You know what that means? I'm smashed. Yeah. I know I can't do it again, it's here. I know I have a hotel someplace in the French Quarter. I'm just not quite sure where it is. So I stagger over to a building like this. And I lean against the building, and as I lean, I begin to fall down. And as I fall down, I begin to pray, oh God, don't let me find my hotel. That's a praying lean. Take it home and cut it with
Just got some French water and just get one nice thing. That's
Nice
it.
things there.